Hello, and welcome to the Gutermann webinar demonstration series. Today's demonstration will be on the Multiscan multi-point correlator equipment. Thanks for joining us. My name is Eric Galosi. I'm the commercial director for Gutermann USA. Absolutely pleased that you're joining us today. With me behind the scenes will be my associate, Max Ward. Max, you can say hello if you'd like.
Hello. What's up?
Max will be handling any of the questions. The way we're going to do the question, if you have any questions during the course of the presentation, go ahead and put those questions in the chat. And Max will keep that managed. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat box, and then once I'm done with the demonstration here, we'll go through that chat, and we'll answer your questions that way. So welcome. I'm going to use the next half hour or so to give you a hands-on demonstration of the Multiscan correlating loggers. And to do that, I'm going to say hello to you. The Multiscan system is a multi-point correlator. And what do we mean by multi-point is that you can use multiples of sensors to do your leak detection. And what I have here is one of the Multiscan sensors. If you're familiar with the Gutermann product line, looks very similar to a zone scan logger. In fact, it's pretty much manufactured with the exact same materials. However, these loggers are stainless steel. Some of you or most of you are familiar with the aluminum casing of the zone scan loggers, but the Multiscan loggers come as a stainless steel casing. And they got the usual lifting loop, also an eye bolt, the large, very strong magnet that we've come to know and love with the Gutermann leak detection loggers. And again, the simple design, no on-off buttons, very low maintenance, easy to deploy in tight spaces, easy to retrieve in dark and wet spaces, and guaranteed to two-year guarantee on this equipment. But if maintained by the operator, many years of uninterrupted use. There is a C-cell lithium-ion battery that powers the logger, and it's a completely waterproof design. This logger is designed to get lowered down into wet environments, and you're perfectly fine with that. The logger will do its job. With the kit also, you have a communication link. The communication link for the Multiscan, it's the newer design, which are these very small communication links. Comes with a lanyard. I actually put mine on and wear it around my neck as I'm doing my demo, doing my leak detection. Therefore, it's always readily available. It's a Bluetooth connection in the comlink, and that links up to your Android device. The method to turn on the loggers, deploy, collect the data, is all done via the app that is available to you from the Google Play Store. And it is an Android operating system app. Your kit, if you purchase a kit, can come with our rugged Android 8-inch or 7-inch tablet that we package with it that looks very similar to this. And now let's get right into I'm going to put up my. So now what you see on the screen is is my tablet, actually in real time. I'm going to turn on
Eric,
my.
we don't see it.
Uh-oh. Hold on, I got to share my screen. Thanks, Max. That's why we have Max here. Now you should see it.
Yes.
Okay, great. So the Multiscan app is downloaded onto your tablet. I can click on that, and that opens up the Multiscan screen. As you can see on my tablet, it positions me exactly where I'm at. I'm at the corner of Chestnut and South 27th Street here in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. These are downloadable high-resolution maps that the operator can click on the menu and select map. And you can download a map of every state in the United States, every country in the world, and focus in your map selection. And you can see I have a number of state maps already downloaded onto my tablet. And we're going to stick in Pennsylvania because that's where we're at. So that brings us right back here. So the high resolution map will help you with your deployment and plotting of the sensors. The way the system works, you're using your app to turn on the sensors. You go over into the menu. Your logger set that I'm pointing at, and I'll open up now, will be your list of loggers that you have. In my case here, I have 3 loggers. Each logger has a unique 7-digit serial number, and that's what's indicated, and that's what keeps the loggers separate. So now I'm ready to take the sensors out into the field. The Multiscan loggers, the Multiscan system is really designed for daytime, quick, immediate use correlation activity, which differentiates them from the zone scan loggers, which are our overnight deployment equipment. The Multiscan can be used in numerous loggers, just like the zone scan system. You can use 2, you can use 200 if you really want. A typical kit is anywhere between 3, 4 to 10 loggers. And the idea is for the operator to take the kit out into the field where there's a suspected leak, quickly program the loggers, deploy the loggers, and wait for the correlation and data collection to occur. And then collect the loggers, download the data, and begin the leak analysis process. So this is this Multiscan system can be a quick time, almost real time correlation activity. You're not walking away from the loggers. The programming app does allow you to put the loggers out overnight if you want. So really, the Multiscan system is an extremely flexible, user-friendly logger deployment system, correlating logger deployment system to meet just about every type of leak detection activity that you may incur, whether that is immediate during the day or survey over the night. So let's get right into the ease of use of programming the loggers. Just like if you are familiar with the Zone Scan Smart System, our app is designed very similar to that. Every time you begin a new correlation, you're going to create a new area. So I'm going to create a new area, and I'm going to call this test run. I'm going to hit OK. And now I've got my area test run set up. I'm going to hit on the OK button. I'm going to refresh my map using the refresh button down below. I haven't moved, so there I am. And now I'm ready to begin my correlation. And going back to the main menu, I'm going to tap on Program for Correlation. My 3 loggers in my logger set are going to appear. I have the ability to choose which loggers I want to turn on for my correlation by unchecking the green check boxes. And for this demo, I'm going to turn on all 3 loggers. Then I'm going to hit the next button. The start measurement window appears. What this start measurement window does, this little stopwatch, the user can add time to the stopwatch. And what you're doing is you're establishing and giving yourself enough time to deploy the loggers. The 3 minutes that's indicated on the stopwatch right now is basically saying that once these loggers are programmed, you have 3 minutes to deploy these loggers, get them lowered down into their valves before the correlation or the actual measurement period begins. So a good practice is I chart out where I'm going to deploy my 3 loggers. I open up the valve lids. I clean out the valves to make sure that they're all clean. And then I'll have a general idea how quickly it's going to take me to walk down the street and deploy these 3 loggers. So for this example here, I'm going to just deploy everything in my office here. So I'm just going to set it up. It's only going to take me 1 minute to deploy all 3 loggers. And then I hit next. And then the correlation window appears, where you have the ability to set the number of recordings and the spacing of those recordings depending upon your leak detection needs. And usually I set that at 1 recording. This will mean that these loggers will wake up 1 time and they'll do a 40-second long recording. So now I'm all set. I'm going to hit the start button. And now you can see at the bottom of the screen, you have your familiar progress bar. The tablet is making Bluetooth connection with the comlink. The comlink is waking up the loggers and giving you a rolling percentage. This just knows that everything is proceeding. And just sit tight as the comlink now reaches out to the Multiscan loggers and is going to turn them on. Again, this is a real-time demo that I'm doing, so I'm not going to flash ahead or speed up time. You should see everything occur in real time. You can see the Multiscan app keeps you informed on the programming. The comlink is reaching out and programming each logger 1 at a time. And now I've got all 3 of my loggers programmed. You can see now I've got a stopwatch in the upper left-hand corner telling me how soon I have to go in order to get these loggers deployed. It's giving me a little extra time. So now I'm going to hit the deploy button in the upper right-hand corner. And my first logger number numerically pops up. I can use that logger or I can change the number, but I'm just going to use that number. So I'm going to hit OK. And once I hit OK, a gray dot is plotted on the map with the 6-digit serial number. Now, because I am sitting in the same spot, I'm going to just physically move these loggers on the device to a more sensible location. And you'll continue to deploy all 3 loggers in your system, in your set. And you can see I've deployed my second logger. I can always move it by just long pressing on it, hit move device, and move it to a more accurate location. And then I'm going to do my third and final logger right where I'm at. I'm going to move it 1 more time and set it up to a third location. Now you can see I've deployed all 3 loggers, deployed 3 on the bottom blue progress bar. I've got 19 seconds yet to get my loggers deployed. So I set my stopwatch correctly. I'm happy with my 3 logger deployment. And now I'm just going to sit back and wait for the correlation to occur. When the deploy stopwatch reaches 0, you'll now go to a red measurement stopwatch. And if you recall, we set these to go off 1 time for 40 seconds. So that's what's happening right now. So during this countdown, these loggers are now active and they're doing their sound recording, all 3 of them. And with 10 seconds remaining in the recording, and the listening, the measurement as is finished. The Multiscan app moves you ahead automatically to the next screen. Again, very user-friendly, asking me to collect my loggers for reading. I'm going to physically walk to the location. I'm going to pull the 3 loggers out of their valves and bring them back to my truck. And now I've got everything ready to go, and I'm going to read my loggers. Once again, the Multiscan comm link is turned on, and the comm link will reach out and start downloading the correlation, the 40-second listening from each of the loggers. Again, at that bottom blue progress bar, you can see the percentage of correlation that's being read from logger number 054. And we're just now waiting for the correlation to be downloaded from all 3 of your loggers. These Multiscan loggers record considerable. This 40-second single recording is much greater than the single recording of the ZoneScan loggers. For those of us who are familiar with the recording time of the ZoneScan loggers, a single recording in the ZoneScan loggers is 12 seconds. A single recording in the Multiscan loggers is 40 seconds. And it's that 40-second, that extra long, oh, I missed a recording. Now and then, if the comm link doesn't make communication with the logger as it did there, you'll get a little warning symbol, but that's okay. That the correlation was missed. We'll go back and re-download that. But while it's doing its downloading, it's this 40-second long correlation. This longer correlation, and there you go. Logger number 055 has downloaded its full correlation. The time indicating the time that the correlation was recorded. But getting back to this 40-second long correlation, this longer listening period allows the loggers to do a little higher level of listening. These Multiscan loggers are also listening at a much wider hertz range than the ZoneScan loggers. So you can think of these Multiscan loggers as a higher level, a more focused, and a higher frequency listening device than the ZoneScan loggers. Again, those ZoneScan loggers are designed really primarily for your overnight when the listening environment is much more ideal. But these Multiscan loggers, because of the longer listening period and the higher frequency, they can handle your daytime leak detection and all the obstacles that are presented with daytime correlation. You can see we did miss one logger, so I'm just going to hit the retry the one missed button. And the comlink is going to reach out to that logger and make connection again and begin to download the correlation. So as the correlation is running forward here, hopefully we'll get this downloaded here. And we're approaching the... Okay, so now all of our loggers have been downloaded. And the app runs you to the next screen. You've got the calculate. Do you wish to calculate the leak results for the downloaded data? Of course we do, so we're going to hit proceed. The app is now going to calculate the results. Your calculation is finished, and you get your correlation calculation result screen. This indicated that there were 3 correlations with a quality of greater 40%. I'm going to hit OK. And I'd like to see the results. So those are the show result. Again, if you operate the ZoneScan Smart app, very similar to that. And now we have our typical screen. Back to our map screen. We've got our 3 loggers GPS plotted, and we've got our familiar correlation arrows between our loggers. Because I did this correlation on my desk here, it's no surprise that the loggers did report a correlation. But you know what? Now I want to fine tune and find where that double-headed arrow is going to bring my leak. So by long pressing on one of the loggers, I can select a correlation with it and select a correlation with another logger. So in this example here, I've selected logger 054 and 055 to do a correlation. I've got a 100% quality correlation between the two. I'm going to look at the correlation screen. And there is my correlation. The Multiscan app has the manual as well as the auto filtering capabilities. This manual and auto filtering capability is a fantastic function and feature of the zone scan of the Multiscan loggers. I always love to keep that auto filter selected button on, and you can see the 2 filter windows that appear. The purple filter window indicates the active filter that this current leak is being viewed in. The gray filter window is the secondary peak. We've discussed this numerous times in our other Leak Detection 101 webinars and with our 620L webinars. These 2 filter windows really help the system hunt for 2 leaks if there's 2 leaks on a particular length of pipe. But what they do is help the operator take all the guesswork out of having to set filters, because the app is doing the filtering with this auto filter feature. Therefore, the operator can quickly just select the filter range that provides the best quality. And you can see both of these filter ranges are providing a 100% quality, and it's really not moving the leak much. I wouldn't expect that. Because I'm doing the correlation right here on my desk. The next thing we need to do is to add the pipe. There is a draw pipe feature that you can draw in your pipe directly onto your tablet when you're out in the field, and you can see it automatically. It automatically draws a straight line in between the 2 sensors. I'm going to save and continue. And now that I have my pipe drawn in between my 2 sensors, it's time for me to put in the material and diameter. A pop-up window appears, and you can see I've got a drop-down screen of all the different types of materials. And I think I'm going to be on ductile iron out in front of my house there. And the diameter is 6 inches. Again, an easy to view, easy to use drop-down menu. And you're going to do all of your pipe segments as the materials indicate. These pipe segments allow you to add different segments of pipe or to create bends or L's in your pipe drawing. But for me, for my example here, I'm just on a straight length of 6-inch ductile iron. I'm going to save the correlation. And now that the correlation is saved, I get my classic leak pinpointing spot on the map. So now that I've placed my pipe in, I now can go back to my correlation, and I can read the distances. As you can see in the upper left-hand corner here, starting at logger 054, this leak would be 152 feet from 054. And if we went down the street to 055, the leak would be 138.1 feet measured in the opposite direction. And now you have all the information necessary to wheel off the measurement and make your X spray mark on the street. And that distance then is represented by the little leak indicator mark. I will zoom it in here so you can see what that looks like. The leak indicator mark on the length of pipe in between the two sensors. And that is basically the use of the Multiscan system. And just like your Zone Scan Smart area listenings, all of these areas then are saved. So this test run area is saved on the tablet. I can come back to that in a later date and still see the saved data. All of your multi-scan listening activity, all of your areas can also be sent to Zone Scan Net, just like you send your Zone Scan Smart areas. And again, the app operates the exact same way as the Zone Scan Smart app. You can upload your measurements and go through the familiar upload process. So then this area data can be sent to Zone Scan, and you can do more of your, take advantage of all the bells and whistles that Zone Scan Net offers, including printing out your reports, changing your pipe data material if you need to, material and diameter, and do another level of documentation and saving your data. And then now also, because the data is on Zone Scan Net, multiple users can log on using their username and password, and they can see the data. And then you can continue to track your activity with the Multiscan sensors. Also, the menu provides some of the familiar features that are also provided on the Zone Scan Smart, including your contact logger, which allows you to reach out and make contact with an individual logger to do some basic maintenance. So let's say I'd like to reach out to 255-0055, and I'm going to make contact with it. And there it is. So now I can see the battery life in each of my loggers, the firmware, and this gives me access to the basic maintenance of each logger. Real simple, easy to use. And that is the basic operation of the Multiscan multi-point correlating loggers. Very easy to use, very user-friendly. And if you are using any of the other Gutermann Zone Scan products, the flavor and the layout of the design and apps should be very familiar with you, which makes using all the Gutermann products very easy and user-friendly. So at this time, I'm going to take a look at the chat window and see if we have any questions. And we've got a message from Steve Gillum, who is joining us today. If Max can allow Steve in to say hello, he can talk a little bit more about the high res, the higher level of listening that I just described with the loggers. Steve, are you there?
Hi, Eric. Yeah, no, I am. No, I was just pointing out one thing. That's all, Eric. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you have the higher frequency range, of course, and longer recordings because the memory inside the Multiscan is more than the Zone Scan. But the big thing is the fact that we use 4-bit data compression rather than the 1-bit data compression with zone scans. So it's a much higher resolution file, giving you lots more data points and a far better sound file to be used for correlation than zone scans. So like you said earlier, it's something that can compete with real-time correlators to be used during the day in downtown environments with busy traffic and so on. The files you're getting are as good, maybe even better than what you would get with a real-time correlator.
Absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
And
this does.
The only other thing I was going to mention is when you were showing that correlation, you didn't click on auto. You probably would have got a better correlation if you clicked on auto. It was still on the manual.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that was all. One other point that you may want to mention, Eric, is the comlink. Yes, it's a lovely little tiny comlink that you can have around your neck, but because it's a small device like that, it's low power radio. So the loggers have to be very, very close to this device to be able to communicate. It's not like you can have the Multiscan loggers in the ground and be able to communicate with them if you're in your vehicle or something like that. For that, you need the more high power comlink that comes with the zone scan equipment, which can be used. So if you wanted to do drive-by with Multiscan, you would need the high power radio comlink rather than this low power. Yeah. So this comlink is designed for lift and shift only, so that the loggers are next to you when you communicate with them.
Right. Oh, very good. Thank you, Steve. Thank you very much for joining us today. But yeah, as Steve mentioned, the Multiscan loggers are really ideal for a wide variety of correlation, and the 4-bit resolution does make these comparable to any real-time correlator that you would otherwise choose to use in a daytime or difficult to listen environment. So very good. We've had tremendous success with these loggers, the Multiscan loggers. Oops, hold on, let me we have I think we do have a case study. Actually, Kansas City BPU put together a wonderful case study for us not too long ago, where they used these the Multiscan for a surfacing water leak. 2 sensors were deployed during the day. Kansas City BPU then uploaded the data to ZoneScan.net, as I mentioned that you can easily do.
Eric, don't forget to share your screen here.
Oops, hold on. Where's my... Hold on, let me get that going here. Share screen. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, great.
Okay. So Kansas City BPU had water surfacing, took their Multiscan system out, deployed 2 loggers, sent the data to ZoneScan.net, correlated the leak, all of the familiar features of ZoneScan, generated their report, found their leak, and dug their leak. Leak successfully repaired is our ultimate goal, isn't it? And that's what Kansas City BPU reported. So again, a fine example of quickly, easily, accurately taking the Multiscan loggers out into the field, deploying them, and finding your leak in near real time using the Multiscan system. So if there no more questions, I want to thank everyone, including Max Ward and Steve Gillum, for joining us and providing their valuable input into our Multiscan demo today. If you have any other questions or want to reach out to us regarding the Multiscan or any other of the Gutermann products, please feel free. The telephone numbers are visible on your screen in front of you. And on behalf of the whole Gutermann family, again, my name is Eric Galosi. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you learned a little something about the Multiscan multi-point correlator from Gutermann. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.